Hi, I'm Lisset King.
And I'm Brittney King. Welcome to Honest Feedback, a podcast for you. We are here answering your questions. And so many people come to my lovely and amazing wife, Lisset, because she is an emotional ninja, aka she is also a trainer of neurolinguistic programming, which is essentially like knowing how to hack one's own brain. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you. And my lovely wife, Miss Brittney King, is a pleasure priestess. So she helps people really dive in to loving themselves, how to unlock that pleasure within so that they can live optimal lives.
Yes.
And you are today's specialist because today we had a caller, writer, author. Someone sent us an email.
Logger.
So someone wrote us a lovely email asking about how to love yourself. And why do you think that's important, Brittney?
Gosh, the list of reasons for why loving oneself is important just goes on and on. From my heart, the most true answer feels because it's a revolutionary act. It is the best, most amazing thing you can do for yourself is to love yourself unconditionally. And it can be a journey to get to that place. I know that I didn't always love myself.
What?
I know. It is shocking to all the people, but it's true. I did not always love myself. I feel like I came out, as a baby from what I vaguely have made up as feeling like I'm great. Things are fine. Yeah. And then you pick up messages, you pick up information. Someone teases you. Someone laughs and says you have a big nose. Someone says your hair is poofy and you look like Don King.
Ooh,
I
that's
know.
a true story?
Yeah, that's a true story. There's all sorts of things. Your parents say, oh, I'm busy, just a minute. And then you're like, it's because I'm unlovable. It's because I'm difficult. It's because all these things. And then you start to not love yourself anymore. And so I have definitely been on a journey on my way back. And now being where I am with it, I just know how much it has changed my life in every aspect that I love myself. Why would you say loving yourself is important?
Oh, wow.
Or do you think it's important?
No. Absolutely.
No,
that's
not
fine.
for me.
No, that's great. I love that for you. No, I think it's absolutely important. And I too, I had a very, lots of insecurities. I always felt like not enough, or I was taking up too much time, or, wanting too much attention because I wanted any attention, and they definitely molded me very little, like being insatiable for love, like wanting to search it elsewhere. And I didn't have it coming from the inside. And that's why my search was endless. And it was exhausting, and it has been a lifelong journey to love myself. It's a daily practice. Yeah.
It is a daily practice. Yes. Oh, okay. I feel like we should read the letter.
Yeah.
You want me to read?
Of course I want you to read. So something I want to tell you guys is we will have dates where we read to each other.
Yes. I love a reading date.
We discovered this, about a year ago. And when Brittney reads, like she has, every character has a different voice, a different tonality. And it's just so entertaining. And then I'll read and attempt to do the same thing. And I just do a bad British accent for everyone. It doesn't matter. It could be they are in Spain and they all have British accents for about 5 minutes until I default to my own voice. So
your own voice is lovely, but
thank you.
I will read this one.
Yes, please read this letter
okay.
and all the letters to come.
Okay. Dear Lisset and Brittney, I've heard that we can only love others to the degree that we love ourselves. Is this true? If so, I would really like to know how I can do that. Where do I start? Loving oneself seems like such a vague concept. The first thing that comes to mind is vanity. I know I can be pretty hard on myself. I can definitely say I doubt myself at times. And I also know I struggle with self-care and caring for those I love at the same time. I have many people in my life that I love, and I really want to show up for them the best I can. Through logical deduction, I guess that starts with really loving me. Where do I start? Love, wanting to love others deeper. Wow.
That first question is, I heard that we can only love others to the degree that we love ourselves. Is that true?
I would say I lean towards yes. What do you think?
No.
Oh,
We disagree. That's a good thing.
Yes, it is a
It's
good thing.
We'll show you how we settle disagreements.
Yeah. Sock rustle naked.
Yes. Naked sock wrestling. No. Yeah. We're going to respect each other's point of view. Would you like to start?
Yes. Okay. So why I lean towards yes. Do I believe that you can have loving gestures and express love to people when you don't love yourself? Absolutely. I, in truth, have definitely been in spaces where I've like hated myself and still showed up with love for others. And I really feel like when I mastered loving myself, accepting myself, being able to forgive myself, I got to a level of unconditional love. And that was what I was able to share with other people. It allowed me to have more acceptance for others, to be more forgiving of others, to not be like, no, you're a bad person, you know?
Yeah, you just went around telling people they're bad people. Okay.
Well, somebody would share something with me, and if it was some part of myself that I didn't love, I'd be like, no, that's unlovable. You're unlovable too. Glad to know we're in it together, you know? So it wasn't like you're a bad person, but it was just like there were spaces inside of myself that I just didn't believe I could love. And I would judge them harshly in others. So really building love of myself allowed me to experience and be able to share unconditional love. I would love for you to share with me why you think I know.
No. I think because that can cause people to push out love indefinitely. Like, well, no, I need to love myself first. And when I'm done, when I figured this out, I will love someone else. And then, you know, time has passed. They haven't gotten to the perfectly loving themselves space. And that's what I feel like there's some wiggle room. You can, I learned to love myself. I feel the quality of love really turned up when I was loving myself more.
Yes.
However, I don't feel like I've even arrived in the loving myself completely place. And being in partnership, having someone love the parts of myself that I feel are unlovable, when I show my vulnerabilities, when I show my weaknesses, or the parts that I don't feel really can be loved and I'm met there, that teaches me, I'm learning from my partner how to love those parts of myself. And so I feel like it's a do with process.
I feel like we are both right. I've definitely experienced that too. Yes. I would say with you personally and my natural hair journey. This is not my real hair. It is mine though, because I bought it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah. But you really poured love into me, particularly around my natural hair. And it was a part of myself that I definitely felt was unlovable at times. And I was like, oh, I am lovable. This part of me is lovable. Look at that. Look at that. Now my natural hair is thriving. Yeah. So, yes. Yeah. I feel like there's so many answers. Great. Okay. There's many ways.
Author, it's a bit of both.
Yes.
You seem to already be in a lot of, like you said, you pour a lot of love out into other people and you love them. And so you are looking to love them deeper. And so, yeah, bringing that love back is going to be important. And it's also not kicking the can down the road until you love yourself perfectly.
I concur. And the next part of their question was, where do I start? Where do I start? The first thing that comes into mind is vanity. And again, I have to say, it is not vanity to love yourself. It is an act of rebellion, of revolution, of giving to yourself that is life-changing. It is life-changing. And I feel like sometimes people being proud of themselves or being confident or choosing to love themselves and to not be mean to themselves is seen as like that person could be cocky or this person is this and this person's not. And I'm here to remind you that those things are not true. You're allowed to love yourself, and it doesn't have to have these connotations that mean that you are quote unquote acting better than people or vain or different things like that. I feel like those are different expressions of other things.
Yeah. I would say where to start is I would start with something that's undeniable to you. And that could be as simple as, I'm really good at video games, or I have really great eyelashes, or my hair is amazing and I have like perfect gray streaks growing out the front.
Yeah, you do.
Things like that. And you can love the parts of yourself that you know that you love and let it be a little habit. Then all of a sudden you're like a newborn baby going, I really love my hands, and I love the way that I listen to people. I love that people can count on me. I love that I'm honest, and you start to find these things and you let them stack. It becomes a habit. Habits take repetition to build. Yes. And so I would start small with what is undeniable to you and really pour into acknowledging it and accepting it.
That's wonderful. I feel like, yes, this is a practice arena. As a pleasure priestess, I would say this is a marathon. Like, no one can not. It's not that you can never be done. I just feel like there's no point of arrival. It's a journey. It's an evolutionary experience. Like life, you're living it. So I was gonna give some like tips, tricks, practicalities, like action items of things I would say have supported me in my self-love journey. So I offer them to you. I would invite you to worship your body. This has been revolutionary for me. Revolutionary is the hot word today, okay?
Yeah, it's really big in your vocab right now.
It is. It's here. It's in my gene keys. It's all the things. It is everything. But worshiping my body got me to a space where I was able to accept who I was without judging myself. Before I grew up, I felt a lot of pressure of like, I need to be a certain weight. I need to be a certain color. My hair needs to be a certain texture. My thighs definitely shouldn't touch. Like my stomach shouldn't be like this and these shouldn't be like that. And like, and your cells can hear you and they can hear you talking about them in a lot of negative talk about what's wrong with them. But have you ever sat down maybe with some warm oil or some lotion and literally rubbed your feet and thanked them for all that they do, for carrying you, for grounding you? Have you rubbed your calves and appreciated their curves and how strong they are? Have you worshiped your knee and all that it does? It allows you to jump and run. It bends. I pole dance. Do you know how many ways I can hang off of my knee pit? It's amazing. My whole body's upside down.
That's a lot.
Hanging on just this underbelly of knee. Like, worship yourself. And I believe that is a great entryway into having a different relationship with your body. Another way I love is doing some mirror work. It's like eye gazing with another person, but you're going to eye gaze with yourself. You're going to eye gaze with yourself. And you can start with just little moments. It took me a bit of time to work up to this. I noticed that I used to avoid mirrors because I didn't want to see myself. And I was afraid to look at myself. So I would say start small if you're feeling a lot of resistance. Start with like in the driver's side little car mirror with a little compact. And you can be like, okay, I'm looking at just an eye. Okay, bye. And work yourself up to maybe it's just a few minutes of gazing with yourself, breathing in, accepting, showing yourself love. Another little trick that I feel is amazing is to change your phone wallpaper to your baby photo.
Oh yeah, you love that one.
Yes. I noticed like how often I would talk to myself in such negative ways and be so hard on myself. But like when I look at, baby Brittney, I'm like, she's awesome and adorable. And I would never speak to her this way. She's me. It me. And it would connecting and having that visual reminder of like, this is who you are. Be careful to yourself. Speak to yourself with care. Speak to yourself with kindness. Speak to yourself like you're your own best friend. And even going deeper into that, treating yourself with acts of love like it was your mother, your best friend, your lover. Like, have you ever just given yourself a hug and like held yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Or like stroked your own hair. Yeah. Or just taking care of yourself, made yourself a really nourishing dinner. It doesn't matter that nobody else is coming over, you know? Like, cook for yourself.
Yeah.
Go all out for yourself.
May I speak into this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you may or may not know this about me, but I'm a bit of a hopeless romantic.
Yes.
I love romance. I love love and it's all the good things. And I had a partner who lived in Israel, like so way on the other side of the planet. And because the time difference was so different, I would handwrite love letters, take a picture of it, and send it over so that when she woke up, she would be able to read a love letter from me. And I did this for like every day for like, I don't know, like 2 months.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. I thought so too. And we ended up breaking up.
Okay.
And I was heartbroken. I was like devastated. It was very upsetting. And what I realized in that moment was, oh man, I have all this love to give. Why don't I pour it into myself? And I started writing myself love letters. And I wrote myself a love letter every day, and writing those love letters, like, I was like, holy shit, I am so lovable. I am magnificent. And it made me take that, outside perspective of myself and really take inventory on all the things I loved about me. That was a wonderful practice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here for that practice. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Yes. I love that. I love that you gave that to yourself. Oh, yes. I would also say another way of loving oneself is setting boundaries. Setting boundaries. I love the definition of boundaries are like, a boundary is where I can love myself and also love you, So whether that's boundaries with your time, boundaries with your space, boundaries with certain people in your family, in your community, in your workplace, like setting boundaries is a real act of self-love and self-care that is unparalleled.
Yeah, absolutely. One way I do this, and actually we do this, is we've mentioned it before and it's worth mentioning again here, me days.
Yes.
A day that is just about loving you. And it took me a second to like check in. Sometimes my inner child would be like, I just want to smoke pot and watch Netflix, And now I don't move until I'm inspired, and I don't make plans with anyone else unless I'm like, who would bring me joy today? Oh, I will call blank. And then I call them. Or just laying in the hammock reading a book. Just for me, nothing feels as good as nothing. Just knowing I have no obligations is so much joy for me. Yeah. So that's definitely the primary focus of my me days.
I love it. Yes, my me days have evolved too. I too used to start off with I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna binge this Netflix and like smoke this weed and like eat this thing and like that's my me day, which is totally fine. Yeah. And I started really getting quiet and still with myself and was like, what would actually nourish my soul? What would fill me up? So that I can actually give from the overflow. And when I started being with that, it was like dancing, moving my body, hiking, sitting in nature and like breathing with a tree, playing in a river and allowing things to flow away from me, ritual baths, magic.
Yeah.
Literally like doing magic and doing spells. Like these are the things that like nourish my soul. So I'm able to give from the overflow. Giving from the overflow is amazing. And I love that you want to show up so much for people in your life and show them love and give them love. 1,000% behind it. And it's really, really awesome when you can give from a full cup. When you've got you and you know you've got you and you're well rested and you're hydrated and you've eaten and those kinds of things. And then you get to say yes from an empowered and resourced place and you can show up even bigger, even better. And like knowing that if you say no to someone, it is not a denial of love. It is you showing love to yourself, which is also showing love to themselves. Who knows what permission you might be granting someone else to be like, wait, I can say no to things I don't want to do? Or it's okay for me to take care of myself and not overextend myself to help everybody else except for me. Or, you know, there's gifts on gifts on gifts on gifts when you are showing up in love for yourself. I would say the way I treat others has been a huge reflection of how I treat myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And that is ultimately, I love that you're in the spirit of like maximizing your love for others. Leverage it. Leverage that. Sometimes it's hard to find the motivation from the inside. Like, I'm going to love myself. And the fact that you're like, well, if I can love others better if I love myself. I love that that's how you got there. And in time, with the self-love acts, you're like, oh no, like this is necessary. This is as necessary as eating.
Yes.
Like I can be so much better in general for everyone. And as the more everyone loves themselves, the less we need all around. We're not trying to fill a void. We're just giving and being present. And I don't know, for me, that's been my primary goal.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
And there are so many resources. This is the tip of the iceberg of resources of where to start for loving yourself. You can also find me on the internet. I am launching a program specifically about loving oneself, being in touch with your body, activating and connecting deeper to your pleasure. So you can come work with me. There are many other goddesses in the world, and you can see who resonates best for you if you're looking for mentorship on this path. And maybe start asking friends, hey, how would you say you love yourself? Or sometimes I write on our little whiteboard, like one of my taking care of Brittney days is like, do something loving for myself. Do something, I'll try to do one thing every day of something loving for myself, whether that's today stretching, that would be the most loving thing to myself. Today, drinking lots of water and hydrating, that would be the most loving thing I could do for myself. Yeah. Cuddling with my wife, that would be super loving, you know?
Yeah, cuddling the puppies.
Yes.
Yeah. Getting flowers, I see you. You're like,
yes.
She just gets herself flowers and I love it. I'm like, right, shoot, get Brittney flowers.
It's all good. It's part of my own practice, and I love flowers from everyone. Yeah. But yes, I love buying myself flowers. It feels really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this writer to find what feels right for them.
Yes.
And let us know what you found for yourself. Like, we'd be super interested. And comment below. Let us know ways that you love yourself or practices that you do. We can learn some things too.
Yes. Oh, sorry. When you said wanting to love yourself, all of a sudden I was just like, right. Self-touch.
Ooh, yes. Let's talk about that.
Self-touch is powerful. Powerful, powerful, powerful. So I'm talking about the kind of self-touch, erotic self-touch. And in this particular moment, all self-touch can be great. But erotic self-touch of like really getting in tune and slowing down to really love yourself. And I feel some people where you're just like, I just need, and like real quick, like a tension release. Yeah. And like, sometimes that's the moment. Yeah. And then also, has anybody ever had an afternoon? Like all afternoon.
That sounds luxurious.
It is luxurious. I'm going to spend an afternoon with myself, rubbing myself, teasing myself, dancing with myself, playing songs that I love, allowing myself to get to the point of literally shaking before I bring in hens or toys or things like that, and really sinking into the depth of my pleasure and letting that experience, like, love yourself. Love yourself. I know. Fucking other people is great, but like, are you fucking yourself?
In the good way.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the best way.
Fuck yourself real good.
Yes. Yeah. That's the moment.
That feels real good. For sure.
Yes.
I love that.
Uh-huh. There are so many different ways to lovingly touch yourself. To like caress your own cheek or hold your own head and like just being with yourself, being with your body, breathing into yourself and really experiencing like, what is it like to cut my own breasts? What is it like to feel my own thighs? Like, what is it like to be inside of my body and to touch myself in a loving way, to take the time and space that I would take if I was like, I'm with a lover, to take the time and space that I would be like, oh, I'm helping a friend move, you know, like, like let's give some dedicated time lovingly touching yourself. It's amazing how healing that can be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Let us know how that goes.
Yes. I'm here. If you guys can't tell, I'm very tactile.
Yes,
I'm
very kinesthetic.
Yes, I am. So whatever is the language of your brain, of your mind, your senses, if you like a lot of auditory cues, how are you talking to yourself?
Do you like to go see art? Like,
yes.
Find what turns you on first.
Revel in it.
Yeah.
Revel in it.
Revel, girl.
Yes.
Revel, human.
Yes. Yeah. Revel, human.
Get in it. Get in it. Yeah. Wow.
This was fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Wanting to Love Others Deeply, for giving us this opportunity to talk about this. Like, I know we have only recently started referring to me in the name that I have claimed for myself as a pleasure priestess. But this has been my truth for a long time. And I have been opening myself up to the world with more of my truth. So I appreciate all the love and the opportunity to get to share. And there's lots more here. So check me out.
Yeah. we'll include all your handles in the show notes so that people can follow you. And if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call at
971-895-4111.
Yeah. And if you want to write us an email like this lovely human, we are the Kings at honestfeedbackpodcast.com. And we will have Brittney lovingly read your letter.
Absolutely.
And we will give your letter all the love as well. So until we meet again,
be honest with each other.